Hello there. I am urgently on my way to the brand new Amazon Flex warehouse in North Versailles here in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, and I am running late. It is 4:28 p.m. I signed up for a 2.5-hour shift. In this video, as long as I make it there in time, you and I are going to go over the shift. How many stops do I have? Is there anything different in a new warehouse? Procedures, the routes that I'm going to get, because I have no idea where I'm going. That's the fact with Amazon Flex in general. You have no idea where you're going until you get to that warehouse. I doubly have no idea where I'm going because I've never been to this brand new warehouse. Oh, did I make it? Did I not make it? I got my vest on. I'm pulling out of the brand new, only 2 weeks open, North Versailles warehouse here. There's an 18-wheeler in front of me. So here's the deal. If you are more than 5 minutes late, you are done. You lose your shift. Sorry. Everyone knows Amazon runs a tight ship. So sorry, you're out of luck. So get this. I drove around this entire warehouse looking for the entrance. It's something that the Coriopolis warehouse needed to improve as well. That their signage, and again, this is a brand new warehouse, new signage and all that. And there's a little tiny indicator that says flex drivers this way. I didn't see it when I was initially pulling in because I'm stressed out about checking in here. I mean, I get it, it's on me. Check the signs better, dude, whatever. I go around the entire warehouse, and I'm looking for other loading vehicles. That's a tip for you, by the way. If you're not sure where to go, look for other pedestrian, regular cars, because that's what Flex is. You're using your personal vehicle. I'm looking for it. I kind of saw it. The Coriopolis one has basically it looks like huge, massive runways, because it's also meant for the 18-wheelers. And I'm just lost. And then, oh no, I also see it, by the way, but then I'm blocked off by fencing. I couldn't get there. There's fencing there. So then I went all the way around towards the exit, and I saw an associate looking at me. He had a little cart, and he was just staring at me. And I thought, I bet that's where I need to go. But stupidly, I thought oh, that's just an associate on their break or something. Clear as day, if they have a little rolling cart, it's probably for Amazon Flex because they have a laptop on it and they're gonna have a scanner in their hand. So look for that as well because they're gonna scan your ID to check in. So I went all the way to the street at the entrance, turned back around, try to figure it out. And I went back in and I went down what looked like those kind of runways. So I pulled around the runways, which is turning into a covered area that looked like runways, which is where I needed to be. I finally figured it out, how to get inside those fences. And the same guy saw me and he came over, he was rolling up his cart. I put my window down and I say, "Am I too late?" He goes, "Yep." Oh, he's like, "Yep, darn it." So then immediately from behind him, a guy goes, "Let him in, let him in." Another guy. He's like, "No, let him in, let him in." And it was probably 5:08. And again, it's 5:05. The app says it. You'll automatically be submitted as a no-show. Well, they have to submit it, okay? Technically, they have to submit it, the associates. So I park by the runway, and there was one other car loading, which gave me some solace here that someone else was still finishing up. And I say, I'm like, "All right, where's that guy? Where's that guy that let me come in?" And I found him. He came back out, and I'm like, "Are you the guy that let me in?" Because the first guy, I mean, he was nice. The first guy was nice, but he was like, "Yeah, you're too late." He was like, "What?" I'm like, "Are you the guy that let me in?" He's like, "Oh yeah." His name's Darnell. Darnell, North Versailles, Amazon warehouse here in Pittsburgh. Thank you, Darnell. You literally saved me an entire 2.5-hour shift and a video for you. So if somehow it gets to whatever, management, someone give that guy kudos. They don't have to do that. They definitely don't have to do that. For a 2.5 hour shift, by the way, which is really one of the shortest shifts I've ever done. They're all usually 3 hours, 3.5 hours, or even 4 hours. So for 2.5 hours, I have 8 packages. How's that sound for you? Getting paid, guaranteed per hour. You know, it's a 2-hour shift basically. Well, 2 hours from now, basically. There's some time at the warehouse, obviously. So basically 2 hours of delivering for just 8 packages. It's not bad. Until you realize, typically, the less packages you have, the longer and farther they're gonna be spaced in between, folks. First stop, 35 minutes away. Yep. Now, I didn't even take a look at my itinerary. Boom, right there, I'll put it on the screen for you. How many stops do I have? Well, I should say, how far out are they spaced? You'll know right now, I have no idea as I'm saying this. Now, that does not mean that all your routes, your stops rather, are gonna be far apart from each other. Typically, they're gonna be really close, densely packed stops because a lot of people order on Amazon, so it's stop here, house over here, 1 block, neighbor, etc. So a lot of the time, well, most every time actually, you're gonna drive 20 or 30 minutes to your initial delivery zone, and then you're basically in that zone. There's no mileage on the route. It's just mileage getting from the warehouse to the route. The stops are about as far apart as I thought they were gonna be. Listen, folks, if you're new, or if you're just getting into this, or if you're experienced, please vouch for this down below. It seems like, and I've been active for over 5 years on Flex, they know if they're scheduling you for 2.5, 3, 3.5, or 4-hour shifts. So they know, Amazon, if there's a customer in like a weird area, well, they're not gonna send a full-on van like one of their employed DSP drivers on their route, because it probably wouldn't be optimal. They might give it to you, the personal Flex driver. Not always, but that kind of is the case when you have less packages, they're farther apart. Here's something else that happened that'll 100% happen to you. I've had it happen before, and I just forgot because it's been a while. So I was pulling up to a customer's address, home, to make the delivery, and I saw them backing out of their driveway. So that's always a little awkward, but like, this is why I recommend the actual Amazon vest, because most everyone knows this vest. And then they stopped, and then they pulled back in. So I'm like, all right, you know, they're just gonna get out so I can hand it off to them. And that's what they did. You know, a woman got out, I just handed it to them. I'm like, oh, hey, you know, just make a joke. Like, oh, I can hand deliver it to you. But I forgot the confirmation there. So what I mean by that is you'll typically take a picture, right? And then you indicate where you're gonna deliver it to. And you'll just put usually front door. But in this case, I just handed it to the customer. And in that moment of like basically customer service, you know, interaction there with the customer, I forgot the confirmation steps. So I'm not clicking on, I delivered it to the front door, because then it's gonna ask you to take a picture, whatever. So the only other option was delivered in another safe place. And I thought there was gonna be an option that said handed it to customer, because some of these, there is the option, it says handed it to customer. So someone remind me down below, why wasn't it an option? Did I have to click on something else to get to that option? So I just clicked on delivered to another safe area. Then I just took a picture, like curbside of the house, which isn't really ideal. And then I pulled away first, because then they were backing up again. So it's kind of awkward, like who's gonna go first? So like me, because I'm already on the road, so I leave, and then I can't even submit the picture because there's a radius that you have to be in that radius to actually make the delivery. So little takeaway for you, if you hand it off to the customer, make sure there's either a option to hand it off to the customer, or you say, yeah, I can just hand it to you, let me just take a quick picture. Very, very important tip that just happened. I have a drop-off right now that's on this 1 lane each direction, but it's very tight and windy, and I couldn't find the house location. So, I mean, I put my 4-ways on going up this hill trying to find it, and it's on my left, and I could not find it. So never slow down where it would be a blind corner, let's say, and someone can't see you slow down. because someone came up behind me, but I was in an open area. Are you ready for this? I had a double whammy on that one that I couldn't find. Oh, that was kind of embarrassing. So I parked, I saw one, well, I can't say the number, one something, and it was off by one house. I realized it. I'm like, all right, there it is. It's in front of me. I squinted, I saw the number, boom, that was it. Sweet. So I park at the end of the driveway. Amazon, they don't encourage you, they really don't want you, I should say, at all, to park in a driveway. I mean, if it's unsafe, if like right here, there's nowhere to park, then yeah, you know, you're gonna park in the driveway, just at the top of the driveway and then walk down. Again, I feel like that's even better because you walk down, you have this Amazon vest on. It's a lot better, more legit looking than some car getting closer and closer. So it identifies yourself as early on as possible. So I think that's why Amazon encourages it. So I walk down a pretty lengthy driveway and go out the porch, put it down. But again, a problem with the radius, because the house that I initially stopped at right next door, that was the one basically it said I was supposed to deliver to, but the numbers were clear. This is the one that matched the Amazon Flex app. So I couldn't swipe to deliver. Then you click on help and it says, the GPS isn't working, I'm at the correct address. Now I'm doing this as I'm walking away because I thought, you know, GPS isn't working was gonna be the delivery confirmation. Like, boom, you're done, cool, we get it that it's not working. It asks you to take a picture again. So I'm walking away, and as I'm crossing the driveway, you know, towards the back side of the house is behind me here, the truck in the driveway starts on up. I always say, you know, no other app makes you feel like eyes are watching you than Amazon Flex. Always, not food delivery even. I feel like Amazon Flex. And I gotta walk like 30 yards down this long driveway, and I wave, you know, hey, I mean, the vest says it all, like, hey. So I'm walking down, he's not following, he's not creeping up behind me, but I'm like, all right, I gotta get out of his way because my car is blocking the driveway. But I'm walking away and I can't take the darn picture. I don't want to turn around and be like, oh, I gotta walk back for, you know, I should have, I didn't, too embarrassed. I pulled off to the side, you know, away from the house, and then I clicked on again, GPS isn't working, I'm at the correct address. And then it let me complete the delivery without a picture. And with that last one, I am done, folks. But was it worth it? How much did I get per hour? And what takeaways did I get from the new warehouse? So this shift signed up 5 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. at the newly opened North Versailles warehouse. I had 8 packages and 8 delivery stops for a guaranteed pay amount of $46.50. And I drove, right now I just passed 40 miles. So I did finish early, 30 minutes, 7 p.m. instead of 7:30. But the mileage, you know, 40 miles for $46.50, creeping over $1 a mile. And by the way, as you can see right now, I'm driving home as per usual with Amazon Flex, with really any app, but more so Amazon Flex, when you get pulled to different locations. It's the drive back home, just straight up commuting miles. Who would even do Amazon Flex if it might be more miles? And again, I've been pulled all over Pittsburgh, 20 to about 45 minutes away from the different respective warehouses. Flex is good if you want predictable hourly cash flow. And I say cash flow, not necessarily like profit, because you'll earn money, but the miles that you're driving, it's most likely not going to be as good of a margin as other side hustles. It truly is set it and forget it. It is guaranteed pay, and the closer you sign up to the initial start time. So my shift started at 5 p.m., which I barely got there, right? So if I signed up at 4:30, and I was close enough, obviously, to get to the warehouse, then most likely there's gonna be some bonus pay. Because the closer and closer that start time gets, Amazon's like, we need a driver, it's in 30 minutes, and the closer and closer it gets, you know, 40 minutes, 30 minutes, usually, not guaranteed, of course, usually they'll increase the pay. We learned some things though, right? We learned that I always get lost on the first shifts of new warehouses, apparently, that you gotta leave early enough, especially if it's your first shift, to find out where you got to go at the warehouse, it's only going to take one time, then you'll know. Honestly, it's super enjoyable. Like, as far as leisure and just like, again, something really easy, Flex actually ranks towards the top for me. It's always been super seamless, knock on wood. Obviously, you know, if you have package returns, I, knock on wood, haven't had package returns in a while, but I like it for that. But monetarily, it's still at, I'd say, the bottom third. It's the top of that bottom third, but still kind of at the lower option when it comes to profitability.